So in this short episode, I'm going to take a very quick look at the Cablemod E-Series Modmesh Custom Power Supply Cable Kit for EVGA and Super Flower power supply units. Now this kind of PC accessory is geared more towards like PC modding, aka making your whole build to look a lot better when it's all installed inside a PC chassis. So that is not the main highlight of my channel. But I wanted to have like a backup kit for my main power supplies. And I also have some damaged connectors on my main power supply, which is the Super Flower Leadex 8-pack 2000 watt platinum. It has some of the locking pins like damaged or detached from some of the connectors. And that can actually happen when you use a power supply a lot in a bench table use, when you constantly attach and detach individual power connectors from motherboards and graphics cards. It doesn't really happen when you just build your computer once and install all of the parts inside a PC chassis and forget about the whole system for many years to come. I could replace those broken connectors if I ordered some from China, for example, but it's quite difficult process to do and it's also quite risky. You need to reinstall all of the individual power cables in correct orientation, or you could damage something. So it's quite difficult process, and it's a lot easier to get that kind of thing fixed by ordering a backup cable kit like this. So the Cablemod E-Series cable kits, they support pretty much all of the EVGA and Super Flower power supply units. All of the Super Flower units are supported according to the Cablemod website, or at least the important ones like the Leadex Platinum and Leadex Titanium units, and also the Leadex Gold units are supported. All of the EVGA power supplies are supported according to the websites, apart from some of the very old and low end units like PS and QS labeled units. But the Cablemod compatibility list covers most of the modern power supply units that are still available on the market. Of course, some of the very old units aren't even mentioned, so just bear that in mind. The good thing about this cable kit is that I can use it with all of my important high voltage power supply units that I've used on my channel, like the Super Flower 2000 watt 8-pack Leadex Platinum, the EVGA Supernova 1600 watt T2, which I recently covered on my channel, and also the EVGA Supernova 2000 watt G+. So it will be a pretty nice thing to have a backup cable kit like this. Now the kit itself cost around 90 euros plus shipping on top from highflow.nl. Sadly, most of these older custom cable kits for the E-Series power supplies are pretty much discontinued at Cablemod.com. There are the newer versions that are more available, like the Pro Series custom cable kits, but they are usually a tiny bit more expensive. Now this one over here is a red colored kit. For me, the cable color isn't a big thing in my bench table use. The only case where separate color can be nice if we run, let's say, like a dual power supply setup, like what we did with Chocut back in last October, so in 2021, when we broke the 3D Mark TimeSpy Extreme world record using two RTX 3090 Kimping cards in SLI, plus the W3175X 28 core Xeon and SR3 Dark and so on. It's a very nice thing if you can pinpoint which of the power supply cables are going to which component. So you can use, let's say, the original black colored power supply cables on the first power supply, which powers the motherboard, the CPU and the first graphics card and some of the peripherals, and the second power supply with red colored power supply cables, which powers mostly the second graphics card. So in that kind of use, it can be nice to have different colored power supply cables, but it's not really a big thing. It can only help if you constantly have to disassemble the system and put it back in place so that you can distribute the load easily between the two different power supplies. But yeah, so let's take a very quick look at the packaging, see what cables are included inside the package and just how they look overall. Okay, so that's the bag containing all of the different cables. Quality assurance guarantee. Here are all the cables. So the package obviously includes the 24-pin power cable, 2 EPS 8-pin CPU power cables, and the output part of these cables can obviously be split in half, so into 4+4 mode. So you can use these custom power cables to power a motherboard with like 8+4 pin power connectors for the CPU. Then we get 6 PCI Express power cables, 4 SATA power cables, 2 Molex power cables, and Molex to floppy adapter, and then on top of all of those we get some additional like power supply cable combs, which you can use to prevent the power supply cables from twisting and just to make the overall like build look a lot tidier. Now I have to correct myself a little bit at the end part of this video. I wanted to get the very original E-Series Modmesh power supply cable kit, because this is pretty much like a full replacement kit. This has all of the power supply cables included. The newer version, so the Pro Series power supply cable kit, doesn't actually have all of the power supply cables included. So it is pretty much like a partial power supply cable kit. So with the very original one, you actually get a tiny bit more for the same money. The color options should be roughly the same, and I honestly think that the red colored individually braided cables look pretty awesome. They will be put to good use later. The biggest surprise of this purchase was the delivery time. I have never ordered anything from highflow.nl before. They are like a PC water cooling oriented website and retailer in the Netherlands, and I actually got the package in less than a week from the Netherlands to my place here in Finland. So it was a very awesome surprise if you ask me. So if you are based in Europe, no matter which country, I think I can highly recommend the highflow.nl website. So if you are interested in like PC water cooling gear and accessories and so on. I haven't had this fast delivery from Aqua Tuning, for example, although the overall service from Aqua Tuning has been very good as well this far. But yeah, so if you like to see this custom power supply cable kit reviewed and taking a look at on my channel, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching one of my videos once again, and I will see you on the next one.